And hello, everyone, and welcome to another Lovecraft discussion with. And I have a little guest. We have with us today, Purple Valkyrie. How are you
Yay!
doing today, love?
Doing well, thank you, hon. Yeah, thank you for having me back.
Well, it's always fun to talk to another Lovecraft aficionado.
Oh, it's feast
And
off.
Yitsy's on a roll. Come on. Come on, Darth, don't keep the lady waiting. Or am I just, or am I keeping you waiting for the lady? Ooh. I don't know. It could be either way. I'm confused now. Take the floor, please,
Either way,
before I say
it's
something
fine.
stupid.
But that's what we do. That's the whole point of live streaming. Yeah. So yeah, as our host said, we will be doing. We had a little bit of a change of plan tonight, didn't we, hon? So at first we were going to
Yeah,
be doing At the Mountains of Madness, but we decided because
yeah.
that's quite a big story, it's going to need a little bit of in
And there's a
background
lot of
information.
back mythos that needs to be covered. So we're like, this is going to take a lot of build up too. So we decided to put that on hold, and for the sake of you guys, because I mean, we could probably do it lickety split, but just to save confusion from the newcomers in the chat, we figure, oh, it'd probably be easier on everyone in
Yeah.
general because
Yes, I think we'd bore our
the mount,
audience.
yeah, the Mountains of Madness is not exactly one of his smaller tales.
No, it's not. No, and there's quite a bit to cover,
The,
so it would probably be a two-part stream anyway.
so we're bringing you the Dunwich Horror today.
Mm-hmm.
And the hello, Lady Mist, V
Hello,
Star,
Lady Miss.
and
Yeah.
you want to start this off, or should I?
Uh, no, you go ahead.
I mean, it doesn't matter to
Yeah.
me. We didn't really. Well, the way it kind of goes is northern Massachusetts. That's usually where basically everything is. The story talks about level country around where it joins Aylesbury Pike, and that's about where Dunwich is.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, I kind of looked it up. Aylesbury Pike is actually a real place in Massachusetts.
Yes, I think he used a lot of actual real places, and then he's put his own little kind of made up areas and kind of slotted them into the landscape that he knew. And Dunwich is definitely one of them. The same with Arkham
Kind of like,
and the Miskatonic Library.
but Dunwich is kind of mirrored off of another place, but it's not. It's not Massachusetts.
Yes, the Massachusetts isn't a state
I
that
think it's
I'm.
his home
Mhm.
where around Providence.
Mhm.
I'd have to say somewhere around Providence. I can't pinpoint exactly where. Probably a port near a port town, some secluded forest way.
Yes, I'm not that familiar with Massachusetts as a state, but that's okay.
Yeah, I've never really been there myself, but I've always wanted to go.
If they're smart,
My
they would have kind of
cousin.
taken advantage of the Lovecraft connection.
Yeah, I'd really like to walk where the man walked. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Went to the church where he actually sat. That was cool. I mean, he didn't attend all the time, but he mostly just sat there for the architecture because he loved the way he. In case you haven't noticed in these books, he really goes into detail on architecture
Mm-hmm.
and the way things look around.
Yes, he had a good eye for
He's
detail.
can really paint an environment. And I think that's kind of why I like. Well, anyway, the book talks about a rumbling going on, like some kind of earthquake or something that could be felt all the way across, rambling, rolling, groaning, screeching, and hissing. Yeah, it's really a whole lot of stuff going on, and turns out a place called Sentinel Hill is where you find this place where a man named Wilbur Whately? I
It
remember
is,
correct.
yep.
Is it
That's
Wilbur
correct, yeah.
Whately?
It's Old Whately. That's
He's
the
this
old fella. Yeah. So yeah,
old man Whately
Old
is
Man
the
Whately.
sorcerer guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then you want to take it or should I? I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
You
I'll
see,
pick it up. Yeah, so this decrepit old farmhouse up on the top of the hill, and Old Man Whately lives there with his daughter, Lavinia Whately. And Lavinia is described as being somewhat unattractive. She's deformed, and she most notably is albino or albino, as you pronounce it. Um, she's kind of a
yeah,
loner. She's a little bit odd. She's shunned by the village. Um, and the rest of the village really don't like the Whately family. They just look upon them with suspicion and scorn, particularly Old Man Whately. He's considered to be a sorcerer or a magician. That's the stories that are told about him. um, Lavinia, uh,
and you could really see his connection
mhm,
later. I don't know if you know this, but Lovecraft also had a connection with Howard Houdini.
yes, yes, he did.
He loved Howard Houdini, and yeah, he even wrote one of his stories for him. But we'll just continue with this, and let's see. I'm sorry to interrupt. You're doing such a lovely job too. I
Oh no, no, no. That's what
just
we're here for.
bleh.
To do the back and
I don't know.
forth.
Yeah, and so much for that idea. It's about out the window is about out the window is Lavinia's hat. Um, and because well, let's just say old man Whately has been up into his sorcerer's ways, and that banging and hissing and groaning and wasn't exactly all. He summoned up something pretty bad,
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And
and
there is
he
one
summoned up.
more.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
No, you finish it, and then I'll continue. So
Okay. Yeah, he summoned old buddy Yogg-Sothoth, and um, apparently left old little old frail deformed old Lavinia Whately up in up on Sentinel Hill with old Yogg-Sothoth, and one thing led to another.
mm-hmm. Yes, poor Lavinia. She then a new member of the family comes about. So this is her son, Wilbur Whately. And Wilbur is a very, very strange child. In the book, he's described as being dark, kind of goatish looking baby. Basically, he's a very ugly child. And he's a very
Yeah,
weird child because he has rapid growth. It's for example, when he's 7 months, he can walk unassisted, and then by the age of 11 months, he could talk. At 3 years old, he looked like a boy who was the same size as a 10-year-old, and he gets older and older in the short space of time, and he gets bigger and bigger. So by the time he's about 15, he's nearly 7 feet tall, and he's big, and he's pretty much a really ugly person. He looks human, but people just know there's something not quite
I'm
right
not.
about him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna censor it. He's built like a shipwreck house.
Yeah.
At like what 10? Yeah, you know what I mean.
Oh
He's
yes.
just stacked. He's a stacked 10-year-old. and,
He's a very
and
strange
and people
10-year-old.
are like going around all about town like this ain't right. This ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
There's something wrong with that child. That thing possessed by the devil or something.
So naturally, this does nothing to help the reputation of the family in the village below, and they just get more shunned than they already were. Not that the Whateleys really care. They don't really have anything to do with the rest of the village. They despise the village just as much as the villagers hate them.
Yeah, it's not like it's a definitely a mutual hatred. They hate them as much as the Whateleys hate them as much as they hate the Whateleys. So yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
and the
definitely
less that the Whateleys have to do with
a
them, probably better.
yes.
And,
So at this point, we get to the part of the story that you were talking about. So you gonna pick it up from there. So this thing has been summoned. There's a
yeah,
rumbling all across the hills and the vales, and the people in the village below are like, "Oh, something bad is happening."
yeah, and did you yeah, something about I always like this name. I don't know why. Mamie Bishop. It just seems to pop a Mamie Bishop. I don't know why. It just it's just one of those names that you hear about like around the countryside. It just I don't know. It's just I know a couple people named Mamie too, so they get it a lot from me. So yeah, I am drawing an absolute blank right now. I don't know why. Oh, something about the art with animals with wounds and sores, and yeah,
That's correct. Yeah. So basically,
yeah,
this.
things are happening to the animal.
Yeah. So basically, this thing that has been summoned has gotten so big that it's broken loose. Basically, Old Man Whately couldn't control it anymore. He tried. He built. He tried feeding it cows. He tried feeding it livestock to keep it, satisfied. But that, eventually it got so big that it just burst out, and it was being kept in the top portion of the house. So he was constantly having to tack on pieces of wood, and it kept bursting through the walls. So this thing that has been summoned is kind of weird because it
As if
can't actually be seen.
as if the house didn't look more,
Exactly, yeah.
as if the house wasn't looking more ramshackle enough. But yet here's old man Whately just slapping on more boards. So he's like, "Oh, nothing's wrong, nothing wrong. I just got a leak in my roof. I don't know. Go about your business. I just don't want to deal with it." And it kind of talks like that in the book. It's kind of these people have got their like this kind of old, this Irish kind of accent. At least it looks that. At least that's what it looks like to me. I mean,
Yes, I'd probably say that that's kind of where it would come from. It's definitely a dialect that he's given them, whether it's to that particular area or whether it's to that particular family, but it kind of sets them apart from all the other characters in the book as well, the way they speak. It's almost kind of like a drawl, almost.
kind of like that slow that that southern drawl, only a little more twangy.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do I want to hear? Why do I all of a sudden hear banjos? Never mind. Back to the Dunwich Horror. This is not Deliverance.
Definitely not Deliverance. We don't want to go there.
Well, it kind of is like Deliverance, only it's not a guy making Lavinia squeal like a pig.
No, gosh, no. No, it's an eldritch horror bursting out of a house and going on a
Yeah,
rampage.
yeah, it's old Yogg-Sothoth getting all up in her Kool-Aid, if you will, to put it lightly.
There is one more character that we probably need to mention. So he's technically the
Yeah, I'll
hero.
probably overlook somebody.
No, it's alright.
Yeah, I'll overlook somebody.
He's technically the hero, but he's a reluctant hero. It's Henry Armitage, who is the head librarian at Miskatonic University.
Oh,
So he's the one that gets
Professor
kind of
Henry
professor.
Armitage.
Yeah. He's the one who gets called on to kind of identify what the heck is going on.
Professor Armitage, professor at Miskatonic University, you know.
And then the other one is Francis Morgan.
He seems to know. Yeah, I was about to say Morgan's the other one, but yeah, you got that covered.
Yeah, so these are our two.
I think we have way too much for this.
Yeah, we do. They're our reluctant heroes, as it were, in trying to deal with this, whatever it is, because at this point they don't even know what it is they're dealing with, because no one's actually seen it, they've only heard it. And I think, as you rightly said, to begin with, it was just livestock being attacked and being found drained. And then, as this thing, now that it's loose, as it gets bigger, then it goes on a real rampage, and that's when the village itself gets attacked.
I'm gonna give some historical reference to this. It's like, okay, it's like Lovecraft took the legend of the Jersey Devil and mixed it with the legends of the Chupacabra, and Dunwich Horror.
Yeah.
I mean, am I right or am I wrong?
No, I'd go with that.
Because the Bell story seems to have a lot of precedence too about the Bell Witch.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Lavinia.
Yes, I can see parallels, definitely, now that you bring it up.
See, I get into the historical precedence of everything, and I go deep into these. And it's like almost to the point where you could say I'm kind of obsessed.
Yes, so I think V-Star is as well. She says she's fascinated by the background of the story.
Yeah, but that's what I gathered that all the Lovecraft's inspirations for this story were, and so far, I don't see any argument from an aficionado. So I think I'm onto something.
I think so.
Yeah, she's over there laughing her ass off. That's okay. I'm laughing too. I can't even see now. Okay, I need to get a hold of myself. All right. Okay. And apparently they get into all kinds of trouble because they think they're getting like cruelty to animals and some stuff, and it just, yeah, as if the Whately's problems aren't enough to just get some nosy people calling the animal controller on them and stuff. And that's how,
Yes.
and I think that's how they start figuring out what it is that
Yes,
old man
pretty
Whately's
much.
been doing.
Yes, they start
Go ahead.
putting
Go ahead.
kind of two and two together and realize where this thing has come from, and that the attacks are happening more frequently and to a larger scale. Just to backtrack slightly, Wilbur, the grandson of Old Man Whately, the ridiculously huge 15-year-old, has also inherited his grandfather's ability and interest in the study of witchcraft and, summoning. And he keeps going to Miskatonic University to try and get their copy of the Necronomicon. So the Necronomicon is a very powerful book. It's featured quite a lot in Lovecraft. He kind of comes
Let me
back
give
to
you
it.
a little bit of background on the Necronomicon.
Mm-hmm.
I believe one of the first found copies, I believe, as Lovecraft describes, it's scribed by a person named Abdul al Hazred, if I'm not mistaken. They call, and Lovecraft refers to him as the Mad Arab.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because I guess if you dabble into the occult so much, you will go a little.
Oh, yes. So the Necronomicon, also known as the Book of the Dead, obviously.
Get a little cuckoo too. Yes, the Book of the Dead. I believe in some pop culture references, it's the Necronomicon Ex Mortis. Yes, from I think some people. If you know what reference that is, go ahead and throw it in the chat because I almost feel like a broken record at this point. But where were we beside that Necronomicon tangent? Oh yes, what's really going on over here at the Waitlight House?
Mm-hmm.
You could take it. Go ahead.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were continuing.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
wanted
I'm
to
done.
pause
I'm
for a
done,
second.
love. I'm done. I'm done.
Okay.
Go on ahead.
Yeah, so Whately, in his infinite wisdom, decides to summon a entity out of time and space, and as Darth Hasta correctly said, it's Yog Sharaf. No, he doesn't know. I don't think he knows that that's who he summoned, but that's what's answered the call. And
He is
he tries.
he is he is the gate. He is the key. All are one in Yog Sothoth.
Mhm.
I believe that's a whole nother story, but I had to just throw that out there. It's part of Yog Sothoth's lore. But
Yes.
carry on. I'm sorry.
No, no, not at all. I think we even mentioned before we went live that Yog-Sothoth is actually one of the more benign um, elder gods. He doesn't actively
Yes,
go
he is.
searching, but if he's summoned, then that's the issue. He won't kind of try and break into our world, as it were, the way, say, Cthulhu does, by influencing people. He's happy to sit back and just kind of let things go until he gets called.
I like Robert Pierce's comment. Sorcery, I tell you, sorcery. What are you feeding that boy?
Damn,
He's
Robert. They're growing big in your part of the country.
feeding them whole cows. Yeah. That's a tig, old boy.
I'm more curious about why he has two Necronomicons. Just in case one, gets lost, do you think? Or
I think he has two different copies. I think he has one of the original copies from Abdul Al-Hazred, and then he has the John Dee translation as well. It's oh, he's just all kind of creepy. So he could definitely speak Arabic because that's what the original Al-Hazred translation was supposedly written in, and a little
and
bit of
B-side,
Brilliant. I don't know.
a little bit of brilliant, yeah. Then that's hard to read. He says I have two so they can talk to each other.
I, I
Oh,
said I said
oh
I'm
dear.
fluent. I said I'm fluent in it. I can't read it. I said I could speak it. I can't read it. I'm
And B-side's
brilliantly
correct.
illiterate. Okay, I'm just yeah. We're having way too much damn fun.
I was just going to put out that V-Star's
Whew.
correct. She
Wait a minute.
says
Is that even? Where was that at? What'd you say about Beast? Is that it?
Yeah, that one, and the one that she put above, she said the dark arts are still practiced and very seriously to this day. She is correct, absolutely. Yeah, there are still practitioners, people that dabble in things that they probably shouldn't be dabbling in.
And Mark confirmed something that I asked him last time. Yes, nice. I'm running on I literally just got my Call of Cthulhu Instigators and Keeper book maybe not even a year ago. So I hadn't even ran a campaign yet, but I still want to, and I really would just kind of want to have fun with it. I don't really want to do anything major, but oh, back on the subjects. Yogg-Sothoth. Summoning Yogg-Sothoth and
Yes. So as Yogg-Sothoth
Lavinia's baby boy.
Yes. As Yogg-Sothoth is getting bigger at the farmhouse, Wilbur's off trying to learn more about the old ones and how to summon. And he keeps getting turned away because nobody wants him there. They don't want him getting anywhere near the Necronomicon. They know that this is, alarm bells are ringing. And eventually Wilbur decides he's going to break into the library at night and steal the copy of the book. As he tries to do so, he's attacked by a guard dog. Now, dogs, for whatever reason in this story, have a massive aversion towards Wilbur. They just go crazy whenever they see him. And this one was no different. So the dog attacks him and actually manages to take him out. So as our heroes arrive, they see Wilbur. He's already died, but his corpse is actually melting. So they're under no impression now that Wilbur wasn't human. So whatever he was has to be stopped, and that's what sends them out into up towards the Whately house to find out what's going on. And at this point, the house, as you correctly said, explodes, and the thing that was growing inside makes a run for it off across the fields, and it breaks down trees, it smashes through fences, and it leaves huge prints the size of tree trunks. Now this creature can't actually be seen, but it can certainly, its path of destruction can be seen, and that's how they trace it.
The book also mentions a place called Kadath, and that is part of the Dreamlands, which is really more my forte. I love the dream cycle. I think I like it better than the Cthulhu mythos, to be honest with everybody.
Yes, that's where your expertise lies, isn't it?
That and the extended mythos.
But yeah, Mark's absolutely right. Yeah, pretty much like opening the gates to the Dreamlands.
Outside of Lovecraft and Circle. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's just confirming to Mark. Yeah, so once the gates open, pretty much anything is free to come through. And that's what Wilbur was trying to do. He was trying to perfect the art of summoning the way his grandfather did. Luckily, he doesn't do it, so there's only one eldritch abomination for them to deal with. Let's see, what does V-Star say? Yes, indeed, Purple Valkyrie. I'm sure words have so lost translation too over the centuries, like Gaelic and other dialects in that region. Be careful what you speak. I was taught from a young age. I was always told that as well, V-Star. Absolutely. Words have power. If you don't know what you're saying, it's probably best not to.
Klaatu, Barada. No, never mind. Klaatu, Barada, necktie. No, that's not it. I'm bad.
Shall I finish the last little bit of the story, because we've nearly got to the end? So this is like the last kind of stand between the heroes and this unseen abomination that's tearing across the countryside. So at this point, several families have been attacked, and it's actually managed to kill 2 families and several policemen. Conventional weapons don't seem to do any damage to it whatsoever. So they have to use a magic powder to make it visible long enough for them to actually see the creature and to hold it while they recite a certain passage to send this back to where it was summoned. In the end, they do manage to do it, but there is a loss of some of their heroes. And I think one of the last lines of the book is this creature, it's revealed to be Wilbur's twin brother, although it looks a lot more like its father than Wilbur did. So whereas Wilbur got the human look, this creature looks exactly as it would have done being summoned.
If I remember correctly, Yogg-Sothoth is described as a gelatinous, slimy blob with several glowing orbs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly the pretty. It's not like you could exactly tie a pork chop around its neck and have the dog play with it either. It's
No, this thing is just, as a lot of the elder ones are, it's something that your mind can't really comprehend what you're looking at.
Yeah, it's that ugly. It's Eldritch Standard ugly. That's what I call it. Eldritch Standard ugly. That's the way I usually try to describe it to people that don't really know or don't read too much of it. I'm like, this thing is Eldritch Standard ugly.
Oh yes, it's not something that you want to meet face to face, definitely.
It's like if you're not already mad to begin with, you'll go mad looking at it. Either you want to call all your eyes out, or hey, kind of like Bird Box. I wonder where they got that idea.
Yes. Did want to touch on a
If
little
you
bit.
actually survive the attack, that is.
Yeah, that's true.
You wanted to touch on something you said?
Oh yeah, just the kind of the background of the Dunwich Horror. So I like a lot of Lovecraft's stories. This particular short story was published in Weird Tales, so that's where a lot of his stories can be found. And this one was from 1929.
Yep.
Yeah,
That sounds.
I just saw a comment
That's what my impression
from
is.
Yitzi. Said, "Read the passage." Yep, they have if I remember correctly, a passage from a book that they have to read to come reverse the summoning.
Let's see if I can. Yeah,
And
I'm
another
trying to
thing, yeah, no, carry on. Another
tell.
thing we did find while we were talking is that there is a Dunwich Horror film from 1970. Now, I haven't seen the film, so I don't know how close it is. Um, but it's got Sandra Dee and Dean Stockwell in, so I might kind of track it down and watch it. And I think looking on the IMDb, Roger Corman was executive producer on the film, so I might see if I can find it and give it a watch.
Oh yeah, this thing even mentions like dozens of legs, like hogs' heads that are half shut up when they step. It gets really into detail. Yeah, I'm trying to find the passage here.
I'm not sure if it's ever written down. I might be getting it confused with another story, but I thought that there was. They use
No,
a.
I think it's mentioned in another story.
Mm-hmm. Just to get rid of this thing because conventional weapons don't seem to do
My
any
book
actual
has
harm to it.
my book has a reference page to a certain passage in another story.
Okay, that might be where I'm getting it from.
And it looks like it points to somewhere in let's see, 751. I want to say the Whisper in Darkness.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. 750. Yeah, I love this book. I believe I sent you a picture of what I have.
Yeah, you did.
And I think I'll just go ahead and you can go ahead and share that with the chat. This is what I'm actually using if Purple wants to pop that picture out.
Um, where is it on? Is it on Discord?
It's it's in the it's in the Discord DMs.
Oh, it's in the Discord DMs. Okay, let me go have a look.
It's like right above the StreamYard link.
Ah, yes, I got it. Yeah, I won't be able to share the picture, but we could put it in our Discord in a little bit, so we can show people what you've got.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
that's the
really
one I
cool
use.
book.
It's by Chartwell Books.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's got references, and in the back it's got all the dates when these things were published, and basically little notes on the life and times of H.P. Lovecraft, this is probably the best $30 I've ever spent. I'm not going to lie. This is probably the best $30 I've ever spent. I've had so much enjoyment out of this book. It's ridiculous.
Oh, V-Star's just put
It's
a
like I
really
think I
cool
found my
link.
favorite genre of horror. Oh,
Yeah, that's a really good link. Well done, V-Star. That's pretty much perfect as the creature is described in the book.
are you familiar with Horror Babble? I think I've introduced
Yeah,
you
yeah,
to
you did, yeah. Yeah,
Horror
you
Babble, haven't I?
recommended them. Mm-hmm.
I love, I love that channel. I always find their companions. Ian Gordon's great. I think I couldn't pick a better person or a better channel to read alongside than Ian Gordon because he just seems to have that reading speed that
Mm-hmm.
keeps up with mine. And hearing it and seeing it written, that's the way I operate. I'm better with more of a when it's told to me and I'm reading alongside. But if I can't keep up, it's no use. So finding one that keeps up with my reading speed is just amazing. And it sounds good too, and he's got all this ambient stuff to go with it.
Yes, the ones that you sent me were really good. Yeah, especially his pronunciation, which is where I struggle sometimes with Lovecraft.
Yeah, if you ever have any questions on pronunciation, I'd be your man. Especially I usually okay, when it comes to Cthulhu, I usually just use Cthulhu, but
Hmm.
actually Lovecraft actually describes it as more of Cthulhu or something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah, it's more of
And
a kind of grunt than a word. It's a sound.
yeah, it's more of a gruntuous sound. I guess that's how you'd actually describe that type of gruntuous. Is that a word?
It
It
is
is
now.
now. I'm putting that in my lexicon, like right now. Copyrighted by Darth Haster Industries, Inc.
Oh, and Jitsi said there's a
All right.
2009 movie as well. I'll have to look up that one. I didn't realise there was another one.
Funded by people of the Historical Society, the 2001 version.
2009, he says.
2009. I have heard about that one. And I believe that one was actually funded by the Historical Society members.
Oh, okay, cool. That one, that's new to me, so I'll have to check that one out.
So it's probably a lot more accurate because I know those Historical Society guys really don't fund junk. So, some of them are pretty dang hardcore. I'm not gonna lie. Some of them are just strictly Lovecraft, but I've found something out. It's really off topic and really off kilter, but I found something interesting about Haster in the past couple weeks that I've
Oh
been
yeah.
dying to share with everybody.
What did you find out?
Well, you know about Lovecraft's mythos of Haster, but there's a whole entire other mythos of Haster based off of the original King in Yellow Robert Chambers um, mythos. King in
Hmm.
Yellow mythos is what they really call it, or the Haster mythos. And there's like 40 some different stories just by one author alone.
Wow, I didn't know there were that many. I knew there were some kind of short stories, um, but I had no idea that there were that many.
Well, it, like I just stepped into a whole world of, oh my gosh, what have I got myself into? And then all of a sudden we're talking like, oh, I'm going to try to read Discworld again.
So
You
this
remember us
is.
discussing that?
Oh yeah, I
And
remember
then
you
I find
saying
out
you're going
there's
to
like
pick that up
40
again.
some books, and I'm like, "Argh."
So these stories, they're did you say they were Robert Chambers?
Yeah, that's
Cool. Because originally it was Ambrose
well,
Bierce,
the
wasn't it?
original one was Robert Chambers.
Hmm.
Yeah, he started the whole thing, but the whole yellow sign and the mythos didn't really come about till the whole Robert Chambers King in Yellow
Hmm.
series of stories, which there's like I think six of those. Four, I forget how many there are, but I but that's where they stem off and make the Haster character a lot different from what Lovecraft has. And not even Lovecraft, really. It was more August Derleth, and
Hmm.
it wasn't really Lovecraft per se. I mean, he was mentioned by Lovecraft,
Yes, the
but he
Whisperer
wasn't
in the
built upon by
Darkness, I
Lovecraft.
think.
It was more August Derleth and Ambrose Bierce.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's the one that has the passage. The Whisperer in the Darkness has the
Hmm.
passage to summon or banish Yogg-Sothoth, I believe. I can't remember which one it was. Like I got some freaking brain salad up here right now. It's like I just got hit by mind flare or something. Like I lost like half of my intelligence or something. It was probably because of the last couple nights. I don't know. Feel dumber just hearing some of the stuff.
So I think that's pretty much covered it. Is there anything you wanted to add? I really like the story. It's one of the ones that I recommend to people as a kind of good jumping in point. It's quite fast paced. It's
It,
one of
it,
his
it
shorter stories.
yeah, it's not really that long, but I think before it we got. Oh wait, yeah, I don't really have anything else to add. I'm just kind of rambling on at this point.
That's all right. And so we usually go for about an hour anyway, so we're nearly there. That went quick.
Yeah, it's one of those. There's really not much to cover in that one. Like but we really cut down the Shadow over Innsmouth. We kind of went more in depth with this one, but the Shadow
Yeah.
over Innsmouth is one of the more bigger stories. I think there's
Hmm.
like what 3 or 4 of those that are really big. Like this is the Mountains of Madness is one. The Shadow over Innsmouth is the second big one. Call of Cthulhu's the third, and the Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath is huge
Hmm.
because that's part of that's like one of the introductory to like the dream cycle, and that's where you get some of the main elder gods like Azathoth.
Yes. See, a couple of the other kind of mid ones would be something like Shadow Out of Time or Rats in the Walls. But yeah, those are definitely the ones, the longer ones. Um, I quite
I
like the
just
short
I just
stories, I've got
recently
to admit.
I like the Shadow at a Time myself. I just recently read the Shadow at a Time. I'm actually working on something that involves the
Hmm.
Mio.
V-Star asks, is there an order that you should...
I'm excited to reveal. Is there an order?
Yeah, V-Star would like to know, is
Uh,
there any particular order that you should read Lovecraft?
I would if there is sort of depending on what you want to start with. Do you want to go Cthulhu mythos or do you want to go Dream Cycle mythos? Because there's an order for both.
Hmm. If you just wanted a standalone story, I would probably start with something like Dagon.
Or no, that's not even standalone. That's more. That's actually Cthulhu mythos.
Hmm.
But yes, it is a good standalone story on its own. But it really does tie in to the mythos. But yeah, you are right. It is. It is. It does stand alone on its own. Hello. Did
Yeah,
we
I'm
just
still
go
here.
dead?
No, no,
Is that my connection? Okay. I was
no, no,
wondering if it was
you're
my
fine.
connection again because I was like, "Oh God, I'm tripping balls." Did the connection kill Purple? It's like, no.
No, we're fine. StreamYards being StreamYards, I think.
StreamYards being StreamYards.
So, what shall we cover next time? What would you like to do?
I don't know what you want to do.
I think I think we should do Herbert West Reanimator because I think that's one that people will know as well,
Yes,
if
a
not
lot of
from the
people
book,
know that one.
but,
It's
but from
not
the
Cthulhu.
film.
Yeah, it's not Cthulhu mythos, and it's not exactly this. Okay, I'm going to tell you something about Herbert West Reanimator just straight off the bat right here. Herbert West Reanimator is one of those books or one of those stories that he was down on his luck and down on his money and he needed a paycheck.
Hmm.
So he just kind of penned this like okay, Weird Tales, here you go. Here's a story. Where's my money?
You're suggesting that Lovecraft just kind of phoned it in on that particular story?
He should yeah, no. No. I'm just like he's just one of those guys that like uh I could just see him being like did you have you seen my stapler? because I remember a like his documentary with St. Joshi.
Hmm.
He uh he said the documents that he found that Lovecraft was really a soft spoken kind of person. So I could actually see him going like that was actually a thing. Have you seen my stapler?
Yes, from everything I've read about him, he was quite a shy person. Um,
Very very introverted. He hardly ever gone out and maybe possibly kind of a mama's boy.
hmm. Yes, I think he was sheltered early on in life.
Well, they did well according to the documents from St. Joshi. He was really a sheltered and sickly child in his youth. So
Oh,
he spent
thank you.
reading all kinds of stuff.
Besides, just put a really lovely comment. I haven't recited anything, but Lovecraft is public domain, so maybe one of the days we could read a short story between us.
Or we could take like two short ones and just jam it into an hour.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah,
Would you guys like that? Are you guys into that? Would you guys be down for that? I mean,
we could even branch out. It doesn't have to be Lovecraft. It could be Poe or
slap a one in the. You guys would be done with that,
we can do it for Halloween.
dude. That'd be greasy sweet. No, we got to do something really big for Halloween. Like I was thinking, no, actually, I was holding this one back for Halloween, but I was going to release the Hound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Hound.
Oh, and yet, see, I'm
Either that or
sorry.
really get into the Beast in the Cave.
Oh, the Beast in the Cave's good. Sorry, it's I didn't realise what you meant. I haven't got the book up in front of me, so I couldn't read the passage.
Yeah, I couldn't remember where it was either. I'm like, it's, and then I'm like, don't limit it
Yeah,
to Halloween.
yeah, that would be fun. Um, yeah, we
No,
can each
we're
pick a
gonna do.
short
We're
story.
probably gonna do a whole bunch of stuff on Halloween. Because I was thinking of I was probably gonna do two short ones, like the moon bog and what the moon brings,
Oh yeah,
and maybe you could pick another short one
yeah,
or
yeah.
two other short ones, and we just read those.
Yes, I kind of like the Cats of Ulthar. But I can't quite remember how long that one is. It might be a little bit too long, so I'd have to see if I can fit it in.
That'd probably limit you to one. Let me check
Yes.
myself. Oh, Cats of Ulthar. That's Dream Cycle.
Mm-hmm. Or The Lurking Fear, because I think that one's quite short.
That is a good one. I like the way you think. I really do. I like the way you think. Or I could give you some Billy Bob from Sling Blade. I like the way you talk. I like the way you think. Mm, yeah,
Um,
there's that.
Good evening, Jedi Bill.
Yes. Okay. Jitsy's got a good one. I like that one. That one's actually kind of interesting. Interesting. If it
Oh, The
okay,
Outsider.
come on, work for me, mouse. Dang you. Yes, Dave Bob, I did some sling blade. I can't tell if you were doing some ambient noise there or was that a motorcycle?
That was a motorcycle going past. That was one of my neighbours. Yeah.
You could have told me that was ambient noise. I would have,
Would have believed it.
because I was like, okay, she's kicking out some Carcosa stuff there. Like, damn. All right. It's been fun, everybody. I mean, it's over an hour and 5, and we pretty much kicked the pants off of this one. Not literally, but yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I
you
think
get
we
the
did really
idea.
well with it.
Yeah, maybe I need to pick a different choice of word next time. Kicking the pants. That sounds dirty. Kicking the pants off. Yeah. The hell was I thinking? What as the thoughts blubbery gelatinous self was I thinking? Hey. Well, thanks everyone for coming. Jitsy Lemons, V Star, Lady Mist, I think I saw Dave, Samantha,
Yep, Dave Bob's
Joe,
here. Yeah.
car video. Oh, what? I'm confused. What's this
Yeah.
Facebook? Whatnot? Uh, let's see who all was here. Yes, Lady Mist was here. I saw. Let's see.
Yeah. Rob and Mark were here.
Robert Pearson and Mark, infinitely. I don't know what to call you at this point. Mark the infinitely tired, Mark the infinitely cuddly, or Mark the infinitely nth degree. What? I don't know, man. Mark the infinitely tired. There we go. And mine kind of stops at this Jitsi quote here, and it's like, no. It says no. Even YouTube says no. No, Darth, you can't go. You shall not pass. I think everybody but Sammy Joe might get that reference. Ooh, nah, nah. I love you, Sammy. You're awesome. uh, well, anyway, yes, I think I saw Jedi Bill. Yes, I did. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Purple, thanks for coming again.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Look forward to the next one.
Well, I look forward to having some more discussions, and maybe we can actually add somebody else into the mix.
Yes. Yeah, that
I
would be
know I've
great.
been trying. I've been trying and trying to get Colin on here.
Yeah, Colin would be awesome.
Yeah, I've
He's
been
a great
trying and
guy.
trying to get Colin. Yeah, I know you ladies had him on this morning, and I'm like, man, I need to talk to that cat like yesterday. All right, everybody, have a good one. Stay awesome. Be nice to be awesome to each other. And
Yes.
since you're here, stay eldritch, my friends. Stay eldritch.
And take care, everyone. just in case you're in the path of the storm that's coming. Stay safe.
Yes, yes. I almost completely forgot about that. Yes, if you are in that storm, yes, my heart goes out to you. Like, really, I worry about people a lot like that. So take care, everyone. Have a nice
Thank
rest of your day.
thank you, everyone.
I'll
Appreciate it,
probably
and
see
thank
you
you,
around
Darth.
the tubes of you here. Stay Eldritch, everyone. Darth Hester out.